Ricky Haywood was 36 years old. He had his own business. He had a jeweller shop in Shirley, which is part of Southampton. Ricky lived in the flat which was above the jeweller shop, which was called Ambience. There was an entrance alongside the property that went through to the back.
Ricky was a budding entrepreneur. His friends said he was always looking for ways to earn money. He was streetwise and security conscious, and his property was fitted with the latest cameras. In autumn 1989, he had a new scheme and was trying to negotiate a deal on a property in Cadenham, near Southampton.
Ricky was keen to invest. It was a farm with a number of acres.
He had put down a deposit of £25,000, but needed another £55,000 to close the deal.
He was speaking to financial consultants to see if he could obtain a loan. He was looking at all options. Ricky was keen that in the future there could be an opportunity to sell on some of the land. He saw this as a great business proposal.
On Monday the 16th of October 1989, at around 12:30, he met two financial consultants to discuss a loan. But he became frustrated after being told it could take days for the money to come through. At 5 p.m, a passerby witnessed Ricky having what looked like a heated discussion.
Somebody in the shop talking to Ricky, waving his arms around.
That man was never traced. Roughly an hour later, Ricky closed the shop.
He would have one of those sandwich boards. On this particular Monday, he was with another person and he brought the board into the shop.
More witnesses reported seeing Ricky being helped by another man.
Also around this time, there was a person seen at the back of the flat, potentially carrying a heavy object which was in a white bag.
Neither of these men have ever been traced. At around 6:30, Ricky made his way upstairs.
And around half an hour later, what sounded like gunshots were heard by a neighbour. Shortly after that, two people were seen to run out of the alleyway, which was to the side of the shop, and leave in an orangey red saloon car.
The crime scene suggested to detectives this murder was premeditated. Sometime between 7 and 8:30, the shop was broken into. Investigators believe Ricky's keys were used to get in. The safe was opened, but his security cameras weren't working and recorded nothing.
Ricky would have been well connected with other people in similar trades, whether they were gold dealers or antique dealers. So part of the investigation would be looking to try and establish who he has contact with, who his associates were, who his friends were, to try to understand what could be the motive for what happened.
4 months after the murder, Crime Watch broadcast an appeal looking for Ricky's killer.
Our second reconstruction tonight is a case which Hampshire police have been investigating for the past 16 weeks. 36-year-old Ricky Haywood was shot dead at his flat in Southampton on the evening of Monday, the 16th of October.
Yes, this is a gun which the experts tell us is very similar to the gun that was used to kill Mr. Haywood. It's a small .22 caliber handgun.
At the time, this was one of the biggest investigations the force had covered.
In the region of 11,000 people were spoken to. They obtained in the region of 4,000 statements, and despite all these inquiries, the person responsible was never found.
35 years on, Ricky's family still want answers.
Ricky's mum, who's no longer with us, she was desperate to get justice for Ricky. And sadly, she never got to learn the truth. I believe there are people out there that haven't spoken to us yet, and I want them to come forward now. We never give up when we've got a case. We want to get justice.